from one extreme to the other. Okay, I've made a mess. It goes so well. So many shiny. Hey peeps, welcome back to another video. Today it is my September fabric haul and sewing plans. Technically this is kind of half a haul, half a shop the stash kind of video, and a couple of gifts as well. So let's get right into it. First off, we have the Vogue 8772 shirt as voted for by the Patreon peeps. I'm going to be doing View B with a few tweaks to it. I'm still going to keep the long bow, but I'm not going to make it a integral part of the collar as it is in the pattern. So technically I'm making View D, but with View B's long bow tie ruffle to add on or take away as I wish. And the reason I'm doing that is because a couple of people have made the shirt up before and made it with the bow, the integral collar bow thing, and have said that they don't end up wearing it because it's very limiting for how they can wear it. They can't wear it open because then the ties just hang loose. So I'm hoping that I can do a detachable bow tie that's going to look just as good as the one that the lady is wearing on the cover. So I'm going to be using this viscose Maricane that I got from my sister-in-law's fabric stash. This fabric was actually from the textile centre, and it's one of those ones that I kept thinking about buying it, and I was like, oh, it's pretty, I should get it, and I never did, and they sold out and I was upset. And then I went to my sister-in-law's for the Festival and Quilts. She very kindly let mum and us stay, and I sorted out her fabric stash for her while she was at work, and there's a video if you would like to check that out up here. And I had a whale of a time doing it. Now this fabric had been poking out of her, kind of like she'd just been shoving, she's got calyx cubes like I have, and she'd just been sort of squirreling fabric in there, and this one was kind of hanging out. And I mentioned, I was like, oh, I was so gutted that I never got any of that, and she was like, you can have this one if you would like. I was like, oh my gosh, no, that's not why I said it. She's like, no, you've given me so much fabric over the years, please have this one. So it's like, thank you. So thank you, Big Bird. And this is going to be a very pretty shirt that's going to go really, really well with a lot of the suiting that I have planned for the next couple of months as well. So looking forward to this, looking forward to trying this pattern out, and hopefully getting another quickish easy shirt to make in my stash, and one that takes 2 meters of fabric, which I have lots and lots of cuts of up there. Probably less if without sleeves or with the short sleeves. So yeah, I have high expectations for this one. I'm trying to do this in some sort of an order, and it's not in any sort of an order at all. So as you guys know, in July now I mentioned that I was going to be making the Deer and Doe Orchid, Forget-Me-Not and Licorice dress, and I've shown you the fabrics for those. They are now cut out, and they're the first projects that I'm going to work on in September. So I'm not going to show you the fabrics for those again because you've already seen them, and if you would like to check out July's fabric haul you can have a look up here. But I wanted to mention that they are something that I am looking to get done because I'm trying to hold myself accountable, and if I tell you guys about it then it has to happen, right? That's how it works. So those 3 dresses are traced, altered, cut out and ready to be sewn, and hopefully none of them should take me too long, as they're all relatively simple dresses with a few kind of tweaks or like little details in them that make them a little bit special. So they're ready to go, just need to get on with actually sewing them, which will happen soon because fingers crossed they're going to be next Friday and Saturday's videos. Wish me luck. I mentioned during one of the hangouts that I had an idea for a video concept, and it was 5 looks from one pattern, and that pattern is the Vogue 9345, which I do have a sew along for, and I absolutely love that so much. I get asked frequently why I remake patterns as much as I do by hand. London Anna, I'm looking at you. And the answer is that patterns are expensive. I do need to do tweaks to the majority of things that I make. I'm lucky that I don't have to do a million tweaks to them, but I do have to put in effort to getting them to fit me well and the way that I prefer before I can just I can't just open up a pattern, trace out a size and it'll fit me. I need to do work to it. And once I've done all that work, if I end up liking the finished garment at the end of it and I wear it often, I want to make a bunch of them because I've done all the work, and it becomes one of those TNTs, tried and trues. So the Vogue 9345 is one of those for me. It's definitely a TNT. I absolutely love it. I've made the maxi version with no sleeves. I have made a couple of midi versions with giant sleeves. I have also made a skirt out of it, which the fabric wasn't quite so successful, but my best friend loves it, so I'm going to send that off to her. I have made some tie front shirts with it, and I have made some regular shirts with it as well. That one's still not quite successful, but hopefully we'll be perfecting that in this 5 looks from one pattern video. So the idea is that I want to show you guys that yes, a pattern is expensive. Once you've got it fitted to yourself, if you have a look at it, they can be quite flexible. So the shirt dress pattern, when you're looking at it, there are sleeve options, big or straight or short sleeved. Sleeveless isn't actually an option on there, but I have done, oh yeah, no, I've done another sleeveless version, goldfish one, which I love. But you do need to bear in mind the arm size and what it does or doesn't reveal when you are doing a sleeveless version of a dress that has got sleeves on it. Anyway, where was I? So yes, I've already made a variety of different things from this pattern, and I thought I would put a lookbook together all in one place of a capsule collection designed around the pattern, because with a little bit of imagination, pattern hacking is a great way of making something that is expensive work really hard for you. Vogue patterns in the UK are around £16–17. I think I got, in fact I know I got this one in one of the pattern swaps. I believe it was from the lovely Crystal, so thank you Crystal. This pattern has been one of my absolute favourites. I'm going to be making a mini capsule wardrobe from one pattern, 5 looks from one pattern. I have the fabrics next to me here, so I'm going to give you a really quick look at them because I'm probably going to go into more detail in the video itself. The first one that I am going to show you is this old gold needle cord from Lady McElroy. I think it's called Renaissance. It's a really fine cord, and I got this as a remnant in the half price remnant sale at Christmas. I am going to use this as a pinafore dress. So it's going to button up down the front. I'm going to take off the Revere collar and the collar, so it's just going to be a sleeveless V-neck button up dress, and I'm going to make the skirt of this 2 inches longer than the midi skirt currently is. That is going to be something that will be really versatile in my wardrobe to be worn over some of my other shirts, patterns pending or prints pending, like spotty ones, prints, plains. And it's also going to be possible to wear this by itself or over some of my roll necks, like the named Paola t-shirt. I've made a khaki green coloured one of those, which I think is going to look really nice with this over the top of it. I probably could wear this by itself, but given that it's needle cord, I'm not sure that that is going to be quite the right look, because to me needle cord reads very autumn winter. I have 3.5 meters of this, so I'm hoping to be able to get a waistcoat out of it as well, but that's not part of this 5 looks from one pattern video. So I've got this very gorgeous fabric, and I'm going to fully line it with this navy lotus lining, which is again a Lady McElroy fabric. It is an acetate viscose blend. Acetate is a natural plant fibre. This breathes beautifully. This dress that I'm wearing currently is lined in it as well. It doesn't feel gross next to the skin. It doesn't feel polyestery. It's slippery. It's got a lovely sheen to it. It's really nice to work with. Press is great. So I'm going to fully line this dress with this so that I can wear it over all those things that I've been telling you about without the corduroy sticking to those things, because that is something to bear in mind. So I'm going to be fully lining the skirt of this one as well. Made a mess of this. So once I'd picked this fabric, I then needed to pick some stuff to go with it. I have a pile here of 3 plain fabrics and then 1 print. So the first plain fabric is this viscose melange, which I have no idea why it's called that, but it's from the Fabric Room. It's called Denim, and it picks out the blue in these flowers really nicely. So with this one, I've got 5 meters of it, and I'm going to be making the calf length button up full bishop sleeved, pirate sleeved dress from this fabric. This will be able to be worn by itself, or I can wear it underneath of the pinafore dress with the collar out, because this one, as you remember, isn't going to have a collar on it. I think that's going to look amazing. absolutely amazing. And because I'm making the skirt on this one 2 inches longer, the skirt of this one won't peek out of the bottom. So this one is going to be the large sleeved, and I've added a cuff to the sleeve and a continuous lap as well, which there is videos for, but I will talk you through in the video. Large sleeved collared calf length dress. That's what this one's going to be. From the fabric room, I also picked up the grey colourway of the same fabric. So again, this is the viscose melange, and again I will list these in the description down below because they are still available. I got 3 meters of this one, and this one is going to be a shirt with large sleeves, big collar. The dress pattern has a waist seam in it, so I'm going to show you how I've elongated that, flared it out so that it fits over my hips, and I make it about 4.5 inches longer than the waist seam because that way it will tuck into skirts and not pop out. Ask me how I know. First by hand London and a top, too short, but it won't be too bulky, which is my complaint with a lot of shirts, that because they are so blouson at the top, they kind of like bulk out and are very visible when they're tucked into things. So I'm going to show you how I elongate the bodice of the dress into a shirt, add flare so that it will fit over my hips, which I still haven't got quite right, so fingers crossed I get it right in this video. But I really like, again, that this one is going to go really nicely with this one, because this one again has some of the grey tones in the flowers. So again, this one can be worn with this one and it's going to look awesome. The final shirt that I'm doing is from this green gingham. So this is my kind of wild card. I've decided that ginghams, stripes and polka dots are neutrals and go with everything. We were sitting in the hangout and chatting about fabrics, and I do think these two look really nice together. I'm really torn with this one. I think that I'm going to do my tie front cropped shirt with short sleeves, big collar, that can be worn underneath this one with the tie not tied up, or it can be worn with the next option that I'm going to show you. But I'm also thinking maybe I ought to do the straighter sleeve option with a cuff at the end that can then be rolled back. But I'm not sure how a long sleeve would look with a tie. But if I make the sleeve big enough that I can roll it back so that it has one of those like little tabs with the button on it so that you can button it up to here, I think that might be a better bet, because again, this is an autumn winter capsule collection, and I think the longer sleeve of this underneath this will look slightly better than the short sleeve, but the short sleeve is going to look better with the cropped tie front. But if I have the option to roll the shirt sleeves back, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to show you hopefully how I change the straight shirt sleeve on the 9345 into one that will fit me, that will be big enough for me to roll back but not as giant as the bishop sleeves or the pirate sleeves that the other one has, because the original pattern just has a straight sleeve with no cuff on it whatsoever. So that's the plan, because that way I can roll the sleeves back when it's a tie front shirt and it's going to look good, and then I can have the sleeves full length buttoned up at the cuff underneath of this. You guys are a genius. I'm so glad we talked this out. So that's going to be that's the final shirt. So I'm going to put this to the side, and then the final piece, so 5 pieces from one pattern, is going to be a button-up skirt from the skirt portion of the dress. That's really easy. All you have to do is add a waistband to it. I'm going to make this again 2 inches longer than the regular skirt length so that I can wear it with, and this is where it's all going to go horribly wrong because I've got fabric everywhere, so that I can wear it with the denim viscose shirt dress. And again, this is going to be 2 inches longer, so you won't see the skirt of this poking out from underneath of this. That's the plan. I'm not sure if I'm going to want to wear this over the needle cord. I think that would be too bulky, which is why these are going to both be the same length. I'm probably going to also fully line this skirt because I think that will make it easier to do all these things with it. This will also look amazing with the tie front shirt, which I will obviously, because it's going to have the little tie on it. Wearing the pinafore dress over this, you just don't tie the tie up and it's fine, but if you don't tie the tie up, it's going to look odd. You can't tuck it in, it's a cropped shirt. So this one and this one together are going to look great, and then this one And this one, this is the shirt, they're going to look great together as well. So hopefully it will end up being a really flexible wardrobe. I have 5 meters of this. The very lovely Claire gave this to me. I saw her photo of her, she'd made a 8577 out of a Lady McElroy fabric, and she'd made a denim jacket, a Sorrento jacket out of this, and I fell in love with the colour and took a screenshot of it and said I'm totally getting that. And Claire watched one of the hangouts where I mentioned it and said, oh, I've got loads. 5 meters. You can have it. I'll give it to you when I see you at the show. So thank you very much, Claire. It's an absolutely gorgeous colour. It's going to go really well with the rest of the collection, and I'm going to be able to get a Sorrento jacket and I think also a waistcoat out of it as well, which is going to look brilliant with the rest of this collection. Although I'm not going to try and draft a waistcoat from the shirt pattern, although it is doable and possible. I already have 2 waistcoat patterns that I absolutely love, so it is going to just be 5 pieces from one pattern, but I do think that I'm going to have enough left of this to make a waistcoat that was going to go really well with this collection as well. And as I said, I think I'm going to have enough of the corduroy to make a waistcoat too, so I'm very excited about this collection. I think it's going to look really good. I think it's going to be an interesting and fun video for you guys to watch, although I have pretty much explained everything that I was going to explain in that collection video, so it might be a bit repetitive, but hopefully you enjoy it. It will be out later this month. That's the plan. It's the last video that's coming out this month. That's the plan. Then the final thing, because I'm aiming to make 10 things this month, the final thing is my Dressmakers ball dress. I have fabric, I have gems, I have a rustly bag that keeping hold of the gems. So I have been seeing these fabrics on the Goldhawk Road for the longest time, for like 3 years, and they are polyester. And every single time I go past them, I'm just like, oh, they're so pretty. But we all know how I feel about wearing polyester. I don't enjoy it. I cook. But I am going to be making a strappy ball gown out of this. So I'm going to be using the KB Grace Dress bodice. I'm going to be using a very full, possibly double circle skirt, full length, with some hidden pleats underneath of it. So this is going to be the main fabric. I have 8 meters of this, and then I went back and got 4 meters of this one. So I'm going to possibly be doing 2 kind of like hidden panels of fabric underneath the pleats at the front of the skirt, so that when you walk this splashes. I'm also thinking about doing a cowl drape over the front, and the drape would be on the outside this fabric, and then the inside this fabric, and then the front bodice is going to be this fabric as well, but the rest of the bodice will be this. And then if I have enough 8 meters, if I have enough, I kind of fancy doing some shoulder capes. I had a Vogue pattern, and I'll see if I can find, I know I haven't got it anymore, and I don't know where it's gone, which is really sad. But it was a designer Vogue pattern, and it had 2 capes on. It was a strappy dress, but it had capes on the shoulders, and they looked amazing. And I'm thinking that I might try. I mean, you know, like, it's a ball gown. You're allowed to be over the top, and who doesn't want a cape except for Edna Mode? No capes, darling. No capes. But yeah, I'm thinking if I have enough fabric, maybe some capes as well. Although I do only have 4 meters of this one. I then went and bought very expensive appliques from Etsy. So the fabric itself was £4 per meter, and I have 12 meters of it. And then I went and bought 4 of these appliques from Etsy, and they are absolutely stunning. So they're kind of green with an AB shift on the crystal and then beaded. I'm thinking that they're kind of going to get appliqued along the front of the bodice and onto the shoulder piece as well, so that it's going to be very grand dress. These can be easily cut apart if I need to make them slightly smaller or kind of, you know, orient them differently. And I have 4 of these, and these were the most expensive part. These were about £110 for the 4, but I do think that they were worth it, and they're going to make the inexpensive fabric really, really look expensive. At least that's my theory. So as I say, this is going to be the KB Grace dress. I am going to need to draft the cowl front. I was going to put a cowl on the back as well, but I want to keep the waistline and the sides as bulk free as possible, so that it really goes in and then goes out over the hips and at the, so I'm thinking capes, because like build up the shoulders, build up the hips, makes the hourglass more accentuated and exaggerated. This is going to be an interesting one to do, because I only have till the 30, 29. I've got to have it finished by the 27th of September because we leave for the ball on the 28th. Yeah. It'll be fine, it'll be totally fine. I mean, it would be totally fine if that was the only project I was going to be working on this month, but it's not. I have a lot of other ones. I can do it, I can do it, I can totally do it. It'll be fine, it'll be fine. I so need to get a t-shirt with that written on it, don't I? Anyway, let me know in the comment section down below which one you're looking forward to seeing made up the most. I am really excited about the ball dress. I'm also really excited about the 5 pieces from one. I think it's going to be a really interesting project, and I also think I'm really going to like the outcome. So yeah, let me know what you think. Anyway, on that note, I'm going to stop waffling at you because that was 24 minutes. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.